Hi, my name is Alejandro Sandoval, and I'm the president of the Mexican Financial Executives Institute in Juarez, Mexico. And this is a summary of the press bulletin issued by IMEF at the national level. On April, the Mexican economy showed an important deceleration, opening for a contraction for the second quarter. This situation makes the Economist survey monthly to lower their aim for the GDP of 2024 to 2.2% from the 2.3% that we had last month. Our survey also shows that there will be a lower phase in the decrease of the Banco de Mexico rate, the monetary policy, to 10%, increasing 1 quarter from the compared survey last month. It was 9.75%. This cooling is occurring along the increase on the government expenditure on the first quarter for 452 billion pesos, more than triple than the previous year. And this is used, at least half of it, in physical investment, the main investments of the federal government, and the other half is going to social and ordinary expenditures of the government. So it's very delicate, the situation, because it's also not showing an impulse to GDP as part of the expenditure perspective of the measure of the GDP. The open and the all-inclusive deficit is reaching 6% in yearly terms. Mexico hasn't seen a deficit this large since 1988, putting our economy for the following years up to a large deficit, the need to lower our sovereign qualification or category in the following 12 months, and losing the investment qualification or category during 2025 or 2026. Obviously, whomever wins the presidency in Mexico has to take this as one of the priorities to make the actions, to corresponding actions to decrease this situation. In the survey, the deficit expected for 2025 increased to 3.8% from 3.5%, showing that we will be losing what we used to show as tax discipline or fiscal discipline in the last 33 years. Mexico has lost it for this 2024 large government indebtedness. At the end of April, also Pemex showed its report to the Security and Exchange Commission, showing $98 billion as negative capital, increasing the loss for $7 billion from 2022. The labor passive showed $81 billion in 2023 from the $67 billion from 2022, a very large increase. The financial debt only lowered $2 billion to $106 billion. Debt with the suppliers increased from $15 billion to $22 billion. And the company has received $105 billion from the federal government, not showing any type of improvement. The financial profile of Pemex will put in danger the qualification of the Mexican federal government debt if not good actions are taken for its improvement. What we expect, 2024, GDP growth 2.2%, inflation 4.2%, debt 5%, monetary policy 10%, employment, formal employment 550,000, exchange rate 70 pesos 90 cents per dollar, and current account 1% deficit. For 2025, we have 1.8% on GDP growth, inflation 3.8%, debt 3.8% from GDP, monetary policy 8%, formal employment 500,000, exchange rate 18 pesos 70 dollars per dollar, 18 pesos 70 cents per dollar, and current account 1%. And finally, there were two comments over the interruptions on the supply of energy in Mexico, given the climate change situation that we're living, and that this is another priority that has to be taken into account by the government to improve the situations on the electric network, on the increase of investment, on all the structure of the electric network, and invite the private sector to invest along them. We are losing the opportunity of nearshoring given that situation. The other topic mentioned at the press conference is the Bienestar, or the Goodwill pension fund that is being created by the Ministry of Finance and the federal government, where they're promising people will be receiving a guaranteed pension of 16,777 pesos with 68 cents current pesos. But this is not all true. What IMEF has calculated is that given the situation, only 31% of the population on the economic activity range will be able to receive it, and only 16% to 22% at much will comply with the requisites on the wage range to receive this pension, this guaranteed pension. This fund implies a tax cost between 12 and 16.7% of GDP, and given the calculations, it seems that it's not even reaching the opportunity to locate all the sources required to pay for it. The Ministry of Finance estimated 130 billion pesos cost, but only will be financed with some part of the funds extracted from the Afores over people over 70 years old that are not being pensioned or not active. And this will only work for 10 years. That's basically the great problem. We, at the IMEF, we are urging to offer the government to offer the rules of operation, reform the social security laws, and imply how this will be explained. The government has to explain how this is going to work in the future. And also maybe invite the business and the labor sector to participate in the technical committee to avoid wrongdoing. Well, this is the information. Thank you very much for your attention. See you later.